Welcome to Catalyst Conversations, the podcast where we spark powerful change in women's wealth. I'm Hadriana Leo, a wealth coach, counselor, and strategist, and each week we dive into the conversations, strategies, and stories that help women confidently create the life they've always dreamed of. In this space, we bring together the wisdom of people from all walks of life who are ready to break free from the cycle of financial stress and build lasting wealth. From interviews with inspiring people, to deep dives into money mindset, to practical tips for achieving financial freedom, you'll find it all here. Together, we'll unlock the mindset, tools, and strategies that empower you to step into your financial power. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a loyal listener, we're here to support your wealth journey. So grab your favorite bevy, settle in, and let's get started on transforming your relationship with money. This is Catalyst Conversations, igniting change in women's wealth. Let's spark the conversation. Hey everyone, Hadriana Leo here. Welcome to another episode of Catalyst Conversations, where we're sparking change in women's wealth, and specifically, welcome to my 2 cents. Don't I have a lot to share with you today? All right, let's start with this. Let's talk about sexy money. OMGness. Listen, I guess it might just be the whole, month of love and Valentine's and all that jazz, all the commercialization around money. God, gets you thinking about all things, buying the nice little piece that's going to be, the ultimate turn on with your partner, or maybe going out and having that splurge of a date, that extra special token of your love. Whatever it is, it got me thinking about sexy money, without a doubt. And I remembered a time when I had done, I was a guest on an online show. And, we were talking about the episode ahead with the host. I was talking with the host. And we said, you know what, we're going to make money sexy. Because, that was kind of the premise of the show. I'm a lot wiser now, no doubt, and I'll probably get wiser still, hopefully. It just dawned on me that this whole idea of, sexy money, old money, we try to get money to represent all kinds of things for us, and it started to really kind of irk me. So 2 things I'm going to share with you about all these adjectives we keep putting in front of money. 1, let's understand that it's really not the money that is personifying that adjective. So the money is not sexy. The money is not old. The money is not dirty. The money is not any of these adjectives we're putting on it. These adjectives are representing a feeling or an experience that we're having with money. Let's not give money attributes that don't belong to money. So if you're using money in a way that's making you feel sexy, then you're feeling that. If you're using money in a way or generating money in a way that's making you feel dirty, then that's how you're feeling. That's how you're relating to it. Let's stop giving money these personifications that make it now take on context that is not really attributable to money. That's the one thing. And the second thing is this. Do not try to have money become the source of all of these adjectives. So for example, if you're not feeling good about yourself, about your body, about what you see in the mirror, you can use money to help support that change, but the change is your change. It's not the money doing the changing, it's you doing the changing. So money will not buy you confidence. Money will not buy you health. But money as a tool in your hands can be used to support your health, to support your well-being, You can use money in ways that helps to build your confidence by, signing up for courses, working with a therapist or a coach, using money again as a tool. So let's keep it straight. Let's kind of keep our ducks properly lined up here, because we need to ensure that we're not trying to make money the scapegoat for us not doing the internal work that we need to do. No matter how much money you spent on a negligee, if you don't look in the mirror and love what you see, you're not going to feel good about yourself. Money is not going to fix that. So there's no sexy money. You might feel good after you've done the internal work, but it's not the money, it's you. And especially as women, when we make bold moves and we stand on our capacity to earn, we stand on our capacity to use money well. Yes, you are confident. Yes, you feel sexy. You can strut down the road and know that even if you don't care about anybody else, they see something in you that makes their head turn. Yes, let's use our money strategically so that we can feel all these other things, and then we can align on purpose. So make sure we're not mixing this up. You can be all these positive attributes, whether or not you have a ton of money or you have the bare minimum. Money is not what's providing it. You are. And the more you actually invest in yourself, who you are, how you see yourself, the more money can actually do for you. That's a whole other My Two Cents episode. But just keep it in mind. The next time you hear someone putting an adjective on top of money or using it to describe money, ask yourself, is it a feeling? Is it an experience? Or is it a mask trying to use money to mask something that they may be deficient in or haven't yet had the time to work on? Which now brings us to the mess that we're dealing with in Canada, dealing with our very unneighborly neighbor down to the south. Oh my goodness. I'm not saying much about this on social media. And the reason why is because there are enough people saying enough about it right now. Where I kind of sit in the whole conversation, it's not really the economics of it. It's not the policy of it, it's the fallout. It's the humans who are going to be impacted by what's happening. It's what happens. I see this as a great example of what happens when there's a disconnect between what a country needs and what the people need. And there is a disconnect there. So, what are we going to do? So, we've already established that money is not the answer to any of the things that we're needing to actually create the life for ourselves. We're understanding that there's internal work that has to go into this first and foremost, and then we can look on the circumstances and see how we can arrange it. Here's what I know. What I know is I am a very, very minute drop in the bucket of national policy and decision making. And you're probably feeling it too. Feeling the helplessness, the lack of control, the nobody's listening to the situation. To be honest with you, I was so looking forward. I was excited about all of the interest rate announcements as they were coming down, because I could use mortgage rate relief. I certainly can. And then this madness, and that's how I feel. That this is absolutely madness. So, what are we going to do about our unneighborly neighbor? If it's one thing it's been interesting to see, it's that the threat to us has actually brought us as Canadians together. And it's making me wonder if we were any less Canadian before, but now we're speaking up about it. It's so typical of Canadians because we are very quiet about so many things, but we internalize it and not say it out loud, which sometimes leads to some of us thinking, we're isolated, we're the only ones, nobody else is having that experience. But now we're saying loud and proud, I am Canadian. And I'm loving that. So there is that scenario. What are we going to do about the economics of it? Well, I'm thinking to myself, I'm really enjoying following I guess, the discussions, the conversations, and the thought sharing of Arlene Dickinson, among others, as she gives insight into what's happening. Yes, it's rough waters ahead. It's nothing we haven't done before, and it's nothing we cannot get through together one more time. Will things change in the long run? I'm sure they will. I'm going to leave that for the politicians. But for us, the you and the me's in the world that are trying to put food on our tables for our families, take care of our responsibilities, and live lives that are full and rich, what are we going to do? I would suggest two things. One, focus on what you can control. And the biggest part of that focus is going to have to be what's happening in your head. Yes, the commentators are commentating. Yes, there's a lot of posturing. There's a lot of noise, to be honest, in this space right now. What can you control? What can you actually move within your little part of the playground that can influence how you're going to face what is ahead? In fact, what is now? So what are we going to do? You're going to strengthen your mindset and understand that you have the capacity to manage through this. That's one. Another thing you can work on is opening your mind to your creativity to see what opportunities are actually opening up. And through all these challenging situations throughout history, lives have been changed and fortunes have been realized because people have thought creatively for solutions and opportunities to thrive in times of uncertainty and instability. I'm not asking you to think of how you can take advantage of or to misuse people or anything like that. But certainly, I think there's the opportunity for us to leverage. Look around. What opportunities are opening up? What do you need to let go of? And how can you figure out a way to maneuver and thrive? This might not be a health crisis, but it certainly is going to be another crisis that will impact every single one of us, and not just Canadians. Don't think that it will only impact Canadians negatively. Our neighbors to the south are going to be feeling it as well. And we're going to have to find a way to live happily as neighbors, literally across the street from each other in some cases. We're going to have to figure out a way to make that work. So we are challenged. Yes. Can we meet the challenge? Yes. 100% yes. So set that as your mindset as you're listening to the news or not, as you're hearing things moving and changing from day to day. Figure that part out, because our unneighborly neighbors may still be our friends as we maneuver this together. And let's talk a little bit about friends, because I happen to believe that wealth is better with friends. And here's where I think we might have a challenge. So a few months ago, it was during menopause month. I think it was October, November, or something like that. I heard a fantastic, when do we get to actually say that I'm okay? Who gives us the okay? Who gives us, do we need permission to say that you're okay? And I'm thinking about that through the lens of wealth. I'm thinking about that through the lens of health. I'm thinking about it through the lens of any crisis that we're going through. Someone said to me, we are all, let's see, let me get it correctly. We're all going through a storm, but we're not in the same ship. Some people are in a yacht, some people are in a dinghy, some people are in a canoe. So everyone is having trouble. We're all in the storm, but we're not going through the storm in the same vessel. My struggle here is I think it's important for those of us who may not be having the same challenge as our friends to be able to say that, to express gratitude, to be able to say, I'm okay financially. I understand that you may not be. And this is how I'm feeling. So I'm expressing gratitude. When do we get to say we're okay? What comes out of that is this idea that when we're well, we have to hide it. That when we're okay, we can't say anything because it's going to upset people or it's going to sound like we're bragging or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. There is tactfulness. There is, speaking the right words at the right time. I get that. I understand that. But when we are in a circle of friends, when we're in a space where this is the person that, your girlfriend, your support system, don't you ever get to say, I'm okay, I'm well? Or is it just expected to be a host of complaints that really aren't helping anyone? I was perturbed. It also helped push me in the direction of understanding why a lot of times as people grow their wealth disproportionately to their immediate circle of friends, their friends circle change because it's almost like we have nothing else to talk about because you're struggling financially, I'm not. What are we talking about? Because you're getting great jobs and the other person is not. We're not. How are we working this out? It doesn't have to be that way. I think wealth is better with friends because together all of our experiences help create that full circle. All of our experiences come together so that when one is in that high spot, the other can benefit, and vice versa. So I like to think of it as my Oprah and Gail effect. I love that relationship. I love the way it's been portrayed, and I love what I think about it without the cameras on. I love what my mind is telling me about it when cameras aren't rolling because they move through the wealth spectrum very differently, but they maintain their friendship. And I think it's because they got one another. They got one another. They understood that their friendship at its core was about their value to each, then we should be okay. If your friendships were based on mutual understanding, mutual benefits, and shared values, then 100% wealth is going to be so much better with friends. I hope that, me and my 2 cents has got you kind of sparked a thought, has got you thinking, and it's gotten you to the point where you take a look at your external circumstances, take a look at the things that are happening outside of you that you cannot control, and make deliberate choices. One, to take the time to work on your internal skill sets, your internal components, your internal thoughts before you try to have money or use money to become things that you're not. And certainly that money is not in and of itself. That's one. I need you also to start thinking more positively and more creatively about these external circumstances you cannot control so that you can become more creative. You can see more opportunities so we can make our way through this poop storm and come out on the other side stronger, better, and more well, completely on the whole level. I also want you to take this opportunity to consider ways that you and your friend circle can grow wealth together, even if it's not at the same rate, but that you can be support to one another during being mutually beneficial, sharing your values and supporting each other through everything that's going on. Wealth is better with friends. So take that, percolate it. Go on off to your little corners and discuss. And tell me in the comments what your thoughts are on my 2 cents. Until next time, let's meet me here again. I've got fantastic guests coming up. Also, Be sure to check out the description below. There are downloads that you can get. There are lots of free resources that I'm constantly making available to you. So be sure that you go in and check them out. I'm sure that there's something there that would be of benefit to you. So until next time, see you later. Thank you for joining me today on Catalyst Conversations. I hope this episode sparked something powerful to help on your journey to building wealth confidently and unapologetically. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep moving toward your goals, stay empowered, and continue sparking change on your wealth journey. This is Hadriana, and you've been listening to Catalyst Conversations.